Did you
This
try
conference will now be recorded.
anything, or like you'll try?
No, Kumar, actually,
Okay.
I was doing some other work also. I mean,
Oh.
previous classes. So
Mhm.
uh, uh, I have completed models, and I have completed WCMU's API, and apart from that,
Mhm.
multi-site management. So I didn't try last
Okay.
class.
Okay. 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 Fine. Fine. Fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me today what topic we'll be taking, will be going through the experience fragment. Okay, so in last session we created the editable templates. So experience fragment is a new thing which is coming from Adobe 6.3 version. Okay, and whenever we talk about the reusability of the components, like if I create a component and I want to make use of it on multiple pages, okay, definitely I do that in AEM. Like suppose I created one banner component, I'm having 10-20 pages, so I can simply drag and drop those components. That is not a reusability is thing, because in that case what will happen, for all the 10 pages, that component like node will get created under that page, correct, whenever you drag that component. So we want some reusability, that the content will be saving at a common place, okay, and you can drag on any page. Okay, so there were one reference component in 5.6 or 6.0 version, but now that have been there is a new concept of experience fragment, that you can achieve the reusability and with different variations. Like for a same component, you can use on different pages with different variations, and the content will be storing at a central location only. Okay, so that is an about experience fragment. Let me show you one thing. So like experience fragment allow to manage sections of experiences that can easily be reused and distributed. They are template based and allow live copy relationship. So we'll see that what it means, live copy relationship. At present 6.3 supports experience fragments to HTML5 web templates. So there are some out of box templates, okay, for experience fragments. Like we can use those templates to create our experience fragment, or we can also create our own templates to create the experience fragment like we did in editable template. Okay, so let's see that how we can create the experience fragment in AEM. So first of all, we have to just go to AEM start page. Okay, so on the very first screen, you will see one entry is there, that is experience fragment. Okay, so just click on this experience fragment. So just ignore these one for you. Like if you have not created any experience fragment, you will not see anything here, because I have already created in previous batches some experience fragments. So these entries are coming. Okay, for you it will be the blank, and just like check this path slash content slash experience fragment. Okay, so this is the place where experience fragment gets saved. Okay, so if I go to this location on my CLXT Lite, that is slash content and then experience fragment. So this folder you will see in 6.4. Okay, experience frags content experience fragment, and all of your experience fragment will be saving here only. Okay, so this is the location where experience fragment will save. We'll talk about like what is the structure and all other things about the experience fragments, okay, when we'll create. So the next step is like we have to create one experience fragment using some default template. Okay, we are not going to create a new template type. What I'm doing, I just click on create and then experience fragment. Okay, so for you, you will see only three experience fragment. this Facebook template type Pinterest and this web variation of VRetail. Okay, you will not see these type of templates. These are the custom template types. Okay, custom templates. So let's start with this. Suppose experience fragment web version of VRetail or the Facebook. You can tick any. If I took this one, you can then click on next. We have just selected template here. Click next. Give it a name. Suppose personal experience fragment and click on create. Okay, so what you can do here, you can either create a folder as well. Okay, better to create a folder first and then like create your experience fragments inside that folder. Okay, so that for better navigation, you can do that. Right now, I directly created one experience fragment. Okay, so this is the experience fragment which I created. Now, if I just open it, so to open any experience fragment or any page, what you have to do is you have to just select it and then click on edit. If you try to double click on it, it will not do anything. Okay, to open it, just tick and then edit. So every experience fragment will contain a master copy. Okay, and you can create a number of variation of it, and then we'll see that how we can drag the experience fragment on the pages, different pages, how the content is getting stored. It's taking some time. Let me open in new window. Okay, so this is a template for the like Facebook one. Okay, here what you can do, like you can drag different images or text. So this is a template which is designed for the Facebook. Okay, like Facebook template. It's not exactly like you are posting something to Facebook, but it's like a template where you are having a profile picture and you are having your image and text. Okay, now if I toggle the panel, so this there are several things you will see on the left hand side. Okay, so it is something different which comes for the page or which comes for the template, editable template. Okay, so here, because as I mentioned that whenever you create an experience fragment, it will be a master copy. Okay, so you can drag and drop your images or text or any other components here. Okay, I'll show you in our own template type that how the look and feel would be. But this, because I have selected the Facebook one, so here I'm just going to the assets and dragging one image. Okay, now on the left hand side, the very first one is the variation. So variation means that if I want to create a copy of my like similar copy of my experience fragment with a little variance, okay, then I can create the variation of this experience fragment. So let's create a variation of this experience fragment with a different set of image. Okay, what I'll do, I'll just click on this create, and there are two options. One is the variation, and second one is variation as a live copy. Okay, so we have not discussed the multi-site management till now, but let me give you an example that what is the live copy. So live copy is something like which is having a relationship between a parent and a child. Okay, suppose let me quickly give you one example, then it will be clear. Site admin. Okay, so you we are having this v-retail. Okay, and in the language masters I am having the English, Doshe, French, Espanol and Italiano. Okay, now if I go to the United States and you see here there are again two locales, English and Espanol. But here you see a little variance. Okay, you see one tick, one arrow mark. Okay, so what it is this? So this page is inherited, or this page is having some relationship between this page. Okay, the parent of this English page, United States, is English one under language master. Okay, so there are some mechanisms like we create the live copies. Okay, so these are the live copy of this one. This English United States is a live copy of English language master. Okay, so what happens, like whenever you change something in the language master and you want to roll it out on different countries like United States, then Canada English or the Switzerland, then from a single place you just change on this page. Okay, you made the change and then you roll out. Okay, so what happened that whatever change you have done for this language master will be coming on all of these locales, on of all these live copies. Okay, so that is a live copy concept. We'll talk about that one more. Okay, so the same thing here, like either you can create a variation, simple variation, or if you want to create some relationship between parent and child, then you can create variation as live copy. Okay, first I'm going with the variation. So just click on this variation and it is asking about the template. So just select this template again and give some name here, like personal variation one. Okay, and just done it. So you will see that one more variation got created here. Okay, one more experience fragment with with this name, whatever the name we given, personal variation one.html. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll just drag one more image, this time a different image. I'll go back. So this is my variation and this is my master copy. Okay, I simply created one experience fragment with one variation. Okay, just remember this thing. Now if I go to this path slash content slash experience fragments. Okay, I can go from here. I'll just refresh it. So this is my experience fragment which I created, personal experience fragment, and it contains two things. As I mentioned, one will be the master, okay, and one will be the variation. Okay, you can create a number of variations for a particular experience fragment. Okay, now let me open one page first, then we'll see that how we can use this experience fragment. Okay, till now, and now as like whatever you want to do with that experience fragment, you can do, like if you are having any custom component which you have created, you can drag that component here. Okay, so like it's a combination of component, it's not like that it will be having only single image, you can have multiple components here. Okay, like the full body section you can copy in one experience fragment and then you can drag and drop that experience fragment on multiple pages. Here we are going only with the single image. So let me open one page. So I'll just go localhost. Okay, so we created this page. Okay, so this is my one of the page which we created using editable template. Okay, now what I want to drag one experience fragment. I want like this experience fragment, whatever I created, it should be part of my page. So what I'll do, I'll just go to the components, and that experience fragment is a part of the general group. Okay, just remember this thing. I'll just select the general, and here you will see one experience fragment. Okay, so let me just drag experience fragment here. So this is a out of box component experience fragment. Now what I'll do, I have to give the path, or I have to configure this experience fragment. So how I will configure? There are two ways again. Either you just click and go to this configure, okay, and give the path of your experience fragment. Okay, that is one option. Another option is that you go to the assets. Okay, here in the filter section, sorry, here in the this third one, like images, videos, or content fragments, you just select experience fragments. This is a more preferable way actually. Okay, and then you should see your variation here. Custom Vodafone custom. Okay, my experience fragment is not coming. We'll see that why it is not coming. So let me try with the path. Okay, it is appearing here, and select it. Let me do that. Okay. Okay, let me try with this way because I have not created any folder. That might be the reason. Let me try with this configure. Okay, let me check one thing here. Load templates. Okay, the most possible reason which I could see, like I do not have that experience fragment created under a folder. So that might be the reason that my experience fragment is not appearing here. So let me try with the one which I created earlier. Okay, I'll just go back here. Suppose let's say Vodafone or something. Okay, I'll just open this one, or let's do again that exercise. Okay, I'll create one folder quickly, and suppose personal, and then create, and then I'll simply create one experience fragment again. This time I'm selecting this web variation vdetail. Click next. Okay, I'll just drag one component here first. Okay, let's not create a variation first. Let's see whether it is coming or not. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just go back to my page. I'll just refresh it. Okay, now it is coming. That might be the reason that we have not created any folder. Okay, so now just drag this experience fragment here on this one. Okay, so as I mentioned that there are two ways. Either you just double click, configure and give the path of experience fragment. The best way is like you go to assets, select experience fragment. You will see all the experience fragment in this bar and you just drag that experience fragment. Okay, so there is one issue with this vdetail one, like they have because like puts a certain conditions, okay, for their component, like for which page you can it will be applicable. So that's why this experience fragment is not coming here. Okay, so let me try with my template. Now that issue is fixed, like we have to create our experience fragment in the folders. Okay, that is one issue with that experience fragment which I created using vdetail. That doesn't allow to use that experience fragment on any other page rather than vdetail. Okay, if I go to the vdetail site, let me quickly go to the vdetail, then we'll see that thing. Okay, so just go to the vdetail and open any page. Let me open this man page or user. So they have restricted their experience fragments to be used on certain pages. Okay, so now let me drag one component here. Okay, I'll show you here only. That is fine. So I'll just go to my components and I will drag. Oh, experience fragment is not here. Oh, it is there. Just drag one experience fragment. Okay, and then go to the assets. Okay, so this is the one which we created and just drag it. Okay, so now you see that the experience fragment which we created, I'll take an example of this page only. So let me just close it. My experience fragment is coming. Okay, now as many as experience fragment I can drag and drop on here or any other page. Okay, now if I go to this path, you just remember that I just drag one experience fragment. Okay, master one. Just go to this path first and see that how content is getting stored. Then you will get an idea like what is the significance of using experience fragment. Just go here, men, easier content, root, responsive grid, and then experience fragment. So you see here one property which is very important. Like definitely it will create a node here wherever you are dragging experience fragment. Okay, you will see one fragment path. Okay, so fragment path is nothing but this is the path where your experience fragment resides. Okay, so definitely experience fragment we created under this path only, slash content experience fragment. Okay, then the personal folder, and then this is my master path. Okay, you see that if I drag one more component, one more experience fragment, then this path will be same. Okay, content will not store here. Like you can see that image is not getting stored here anywhere in any of the property. Okay, this image will be storing at this location. Okay, at a center location. If I go to this location and refresh it. Go to personal, then experience fragment, and then master. So you will see that in some of the node, the image will be there. Okay, here, like on the root, we dragged one image. So this is the image one. Okay, whatever the image we drag and drop file reference, it is appearing on this path only. Okay, and what if you have dragged multiple components, so all will be storing under this responsive grid root folder. Okay, and there is one more thing which we need to remember, that experience fragment is a type of CQ page. Okay, so this create as a CQ page only. Now if I go here and let's create one more variation of it. Okay, and one thing to remember, like let me open the experience fragment one, then I'll show you. So this is my experience fragment which I created. I'll just open it. I'll just create a variation of it. Create a variation, and just select this one, template. Okay, so I have one master and I have one variation. Now if I go to my page, I want to change or I want to use a variation of it on certain page. Okay, suppose I opened the woman page. Again, I will drag one experience fragment first, and then so this is my variation. Now instead of dragging the master copy, I'm just dragging the variation. Okay, so on this page, I'm using the same experience fragment. Okay, but a little variation. Okay, so all the variations and everything will be storing under this location, personal experience fragment. If I refresh it, then you will see that one more variation got created under it. Okay, so you can create rather than creating every time a new experience fragment, you can create a variation. That is a flexibility, because that way it will be more heavier. Okay, and if you are having same kind of components clubbed in one experience fragment, then it is easy to create a variation. Like suppose you are having a variation of a text only, like for a different page you need some different text. So rather than creating a experience fragment from the scratch, you just create a variation and change the text or image whatever you want here. Okay, you can drag multiple components like text, or if you have created your own component, you can also drag those. Okay, now suppose I change something here. This is my master one and this is my variation. Okay, let me change this master copy. I'll change this image. Okay, so let me drag this person image in master one. This is my master. If I go here on my main page, then it should reflect here. Okay, so my page is getting reflected. Now if I want that my variation should also be like in the sync with my master copy, then it will not happen. If I refresh this one, then there will not be any change because I just changed the master copy. Okay, if I create a variation as live copy and I roll out the changes from master, then it will be reflecting. Okay, if I go here to my experience fragment, where it is, okay, let me close this one. Okay, this is my experience fragment. If I go to the variation and like there is no such option is coming like I can roll it out. Okay, so let's create one more variation of this master one, and this time I'll create variation as live copy. Okay, then you'll see some difference. Okay, source will be blank. Let me give personal variation, so automatically it takes the source as a master, so it comes in disable mode. I'm giving a live one. Okay, and here one rollout configuration, it is asking that which rollout configuration you want. Just forget about this configuration. You just remember that there are certain criteria or certain conditions that you will be rolling out the pages. Okay, and I'm using standard rollout configuration. Okay, this term will come when we'll talk about the MSM, and just tick on this done button. Okay, give some title. Okay, let me refresh it. How it is possible? It is not appearing. Let me try one more time. Okay, this time it got created. Okay, so it is saying new variation has been created. So you will see one change here, like all the things which were appearing on my master, it is appearing on my variation as well. Okay, now what you will be thinking that what is the use of it? Okay, like the same thing if I'm having on my master and my variation, then what is the benefit of creating this variation? Okay, so the benefit is like I'm inside my variation copy and I want that suppose this is one image, I want this image to be global, like whenever I change something in my master and I roll it out, this image should get changed in all the variations. However, I can drag and drop multiple other components here on my variation as well. Okay, so let me do one thing. This is my master. Okay, having only one image in my live copy variation, I'm having that image. I'll drag one more component here. Okay, so let me just drag any, let's suppose one image. I'll just go here, assets. Okay, now on this home page, what I'll do, I'll just change my experience fragment path. I'll select this variation one. Okay, image, and so this is my live copy. Now if I want to change this image, okay, on both the pages, here the first image and this image, if I created a variation only, then I had to change two places. Okay, one in the master and second one is a variation. But now in the case of variation as live copy, I'll changing only in the master and I will roll out the change. Okay, let's do that. I'll just go to to my experience fragment. Where it is. Okay, so this is my master. What I'll do, I'll just simply change this image. Let's suppose this stock image. Okay, so here I'm inside the master one. Okay, I want to roll it out on my variation. Okay, what I'll do, I'll just go here and I'll select my image. Okay, let me okay, that is fine. And here you will see one button is coming, that is rollout. Okay, just click on this rollout. It is saying rollout 2. Okay, click on this one. Then here you will see that what all are the variations present in your experience fragment. Okay, so this is the personal variation 1. So we created as in live copy, so it is appearing here. If you have created a number of variations, those will be listing. So now you have made changes in master, you want to reflect on all the variations as a live copy. So you can select that on which live copy you want to reflect your change. So here, as I'm having only single variance, I just selected it and click on this rollout button. Okay, so this is a rollout. I'm rolling out my changes. Okay, it is saying method not allowed. Okay, let me try with some different way. I'll roll out the page from here. Let's see if it works. It should not come, but it is coming. Let me check. Okay, okay. The issue is like I'm inside the personal variance live one. Okay, so this is not the correct thing. I have to go inside. What is happening here? Oh, this is my master. Now I'll do from the master only. Okay, so just roll out the page. Okay, anyhow, like this will be like working for you. For me, might be I have changed some permissions and all. So you just try with it. Once you roll it out, what will happen? Like on the woman page itself, on the both the pages, like if I refresh this master, my image definitely will come here, and it will also appear here as well on the woman page. Okay, so that is one relationship. Like if you want to create using the experience fragment. Okay, you just try that and let me know if you face the same issue which I'm getting. It should not come. Okay, right now it is not working because I'm getting some errors here. Okay, definitely if you roll it out, then it should work. Okay, so let's go back to our crxt lite one more time. Okay, and let me just refresh it. Okay, so this is my variation one. So let's understand that what structure it creates. Okay, and one more thing about experience fragment. Suppose this is my master. Okay, and I want to check that which template I used to create this experience fragment. Then how I will check? So there is one thing, like rather than going to this path and then check that which template I used. Okay, suppose I want to check the template type. What you can do, you can just click on these three dots and click on this edit template. Okay, just click on it, edit template. So it will be opening one editable template for you by which you created this experience fragment. Okay, so this is the template type, and here you can see that this is the under conf vdetail settings. Okay, so this is the template Okay, like whenever we were creating experience fragment, we seen that web variation, Facebook, Pinterest. Okay, so this is that template. If you want to modify it, if you want to allow more components for that experience fragment, you can do that. Okay, I'll tell you that how to create this variation or this template for R1. Okay, if I go to the CRXD Lite and check the master one, the first thing to remember that every experience fragment will be type of CQ colon page. Okay, it will be having master and it can have variation and the variation as live copy pages. Okay, all the sub pages will be type of CQ page. In the JCR content, this is the root. Okay, from where this root is coming, the template which you selected to create this experience fragment. Okay, it will get copied from the master of that editable template here. Okay, and whatever the components you will drag, they will store under this responsive grid. Okay, responsive grid is nothing but a layout container which we discussed yesterday. Okay, so this is the hierarchy of the experience fragment, like which gets created. And one more thing, like if we are creating our own templates, then we have to make one more entry here. Like this is my experience fragment, so just select it. You will see one CQ colon allowed templates. Okay, and by default it will be only the first one, left CQ experience fragments. So this is the path of the templates of Facebook, Pinterest. Okay, now if you are creating your own template type, okay, while creating the experience fragment, like if I go back here, if I create another experience fragment, suppose in the personal folder, okay, and I want to use of these templates which I created. And shortly I'll tell you how to create these templates. If you want to create these templates and allow it, so what you have to do is you have to just go to your CRXT Lite, open this experience fragment slash content, and just add your path. Okay, here you see that I have added some paths here, conf Vodafone. The similar way you can add one more path if you are if you have created the template, your own template type. Okay, so the process is very similar which we discussed yesterday for the editable templates. Okay, this is my personal configuration, WCM, and then template types. So we created one custom template type yesterday. The same way you can create the template type for experience fragment as well. There is a little difference. Okay, what is that difference? Difference is like, and this is a manual process. Okay, all you have to do is you have to just create all the things manually, like right click, then create the nodes which we discussed yesterday and which is mentioned in this document as well. Okay, so I mentioned the steps here to create the experience fragment type. Let me show you quickly. Okay, so how to create the experience fragment template type. So you can refer this one. I'll not create it. You try it. Okay, so what you have to do is either you can create like if you are already having any template type created, you can copy paste that one and you have to modify certain things there. Okay, one important thing which you need to understand is the resource type. Okay, so what resource type we should mention? So if you remember yesterday, we were giving a like page resource type, but in case of experience fragment, we have to provide XF page, that is experience fragment page. Okay, if, so this is a one template type which I created using this document. So you'll refer that one. I created in the same way. The only difference would be here. Let me open the initial one first. This one, resource type will always be CQ experience fragment components and XF page. This is an out of box experience fragment page which we have to inherit, okay, or which we have to just provide as a resource type in our template type. Okay, once you do that, once you create a template for your experience fragment, the next step would be like you just open this slash content slash experience fragment, go to allow templates, and then add the path of your template like this way. Okay, and then in that way you can open, or you like your template type will be visible while creating the experience fragments. Okay, so this is an exercise for you. You just try to create the template type, and then this is not required at like mostly we use the Autobox or like the VRetail or the Facebook Pinterest, but like it is good practice to create our own template types rather than using the Autobox. Okay, so the process will be exactly same like the editable template. Once you create the template, you have to enable it to make certain modification or to make an experience fragment using the template. Okay, all those things you have to do, like you have to create the policies, okay, for template type. Okay, now if you see here, like I have mentioned that is step only. Like if you have created the experience fragment type, you will only see three until or unless you do not make entry here. You have to make the entry here only. Then you will see all the template types specific to your projects under this path. Okay, you have to do that thing. Then this is your template type which we created using a simple layout container. Okay, and here you can drag and drop a number of components. Okay, uh, so you guys just try with different variation. There is a concept of building block as well, but this is very new in 6.5. I'll give you one link of it. What it does, like let me think if I can tell you something about it. Let me open the master. Okay, so suppose this is my variation, or this is where it is. Okay, suppose these are the two components. Okay, and I want to make use of these two components on several other variations. Okay, so what I can do, I can just bind those components in a single entity, that is a building block. Okay, what you have to do is you have to just select your component, both components, and just click on this group. Okay, once you click on this group icon, okay, not here, I guess. Let me try. I'll give you one link, like that is self-explanatory, so you can try with that image. Let me try once. Okay, it is coming on the master. Okay, definitely we have to do this exercise on the master one only. So what I have done, I have just selected both of the components on my master. I want to reuse of like instead of dragging and dropping on all the variations, if I'm not creating as a live copy. So what I can do, I can just club these two one in one building block. Okay, rather than dragging dropping again and then configuring. I'll, like this is a new feature at all. Okay, in 6.4. So just click on this convert to building block. Okay, and give some name here like building block image something. We are not using it. Okay, so now if I create a variation, so you will see that this blue dotted line will be appearing, and it says that this is your building block. Okay, and if you click on this building blocks, so this is the building block which I have created. Okay, now on all the variations, suppose this is one of my variation, I want to use of that building block. So what I can do, I can just go to this building block one, and can drag and drop this building block. Okay, so now you can see that both the components are appearing here. Okay, rather than dragging dropping the components individually on my variation and then configure those. So this is a new feature, like on the master you can club the components in one building block and then drag and drop it. Okay, so that is a building block. Guys, any query so far on this experience fragment, Sachin?
No, Kumar.
Okay, just try it out. It is a
Yeah.
simple one. Okay, so this is all about the experience fragment that we create in AEM. Okay, and there is a concept of the content fragment as well. Okay, content fragment is entirely different. Like we use content fragment as a service. Okay, content service, we can create a number of content fragments. I'll cover that topic in next session because it will be confusing. So for now, like there is one more thing that we can cover. Okay, that is the core components. Okay, so Sachin, like it is fine if we can continue this core components today only. You have time till 8:30 or 8:15.
No, Kumar. I mean, for 8 o'clock, it's fine. So, because I have a cab at 8:15, 8:20.
Uh, okay, okay. So let's try to finish by 8 only. Okay,
Okay, okay.
okay. So the next topic is the core components. Okay, so core components. So far we have discussed that in AEM we are having out-of-box components. Okay, so out-of-box component resides under this libs. Correct, like libs, then foundation, and then components. So this is the path of all the JSP components: libs, foundation, components. Okay, you will see all the JSP components here. If you want to check the sitely based component, sitely plus JSP based, so you can refer this location: libs, then WCM, and then the components. Sorry, libs, WCM, foundation, and then the components. So here you will see all the sitely based plus JSP based components, okay, which will be having the touch UI. Now there is a one more set of components which is creating by the Adobe core team. So there is one like separate team which is creating these core components. Okay, so what are these core components? First, we need to understand those things. Okay, so the core components, they are creating not inside the libs, they are creating a different package, different bundle for the core components. By default, with the 6.4 instance, you will be getting a set of core components. Okay, the path of core component will always be under the apps rather than the libs, and they are planning, Adobe is planning to convert all these components, all these library components or out of box component in the core components. Okay, so why we set the core component, I'll tell you. Just go to the apps first and you will see one folder here, core. If I go to this core, WCM and components, I'll see some components here: breadcrumb, carousel, image, navigation page, search, tabs, teaser, text, title. Okay, so and let me open one component here. Then you will easily see the difference. Like what is the difference between the core components and the library out of box component, either under foundation, libs foundation, WCM, or either under libs WCM foundation components. So you will see that different versions they are creating. Okay, they are enhancing, keep on enhancing the components. Suppose this is one of my list component. So you will see the latest things. You will not see any dialog here. Okay, you will only see the touch UI dialog, CQ colon dialog. You will only see the HTML. There is no JSP. Okay, and the latest things, like they are creating the client library individually for the components. So this is the latest one. If I go to the CQ dialog, then there is no CQ colon layout. Okay, When we were discussing, I mentioned that for touch UI dialogs, either you can create using the Granite API, or either you can create using Coral API, Coral 3, Coral 2. Okay, Coral 2 is Granite, and Coral 3 is the latest way. Okay, in Coral 3, you will not see any SQL column layout.
Kumar,
Yep.
your voice are coming so far.
Okay, it is fine now.
Yes.
Okay, so like if I open any library component, okay, and in the WCM only, I'll go lists, then WCM, and foundation components. Suppose list component I'm opening. So here you will see that dialog is also there, CQ dialog is there. Somewhere you will also see the JS files, sorry, JSP in some of the component. I'll open the CQ dialog, content layout. Okay, so this layout folder, as I mentioned, that this was initially developed when Adobe was doing migration from classic to touch UI dialogues. Okay, so this was a concept which was present, but nowadays we are not using it at all. This is a Coral 2 approach. Okay, there is no, if you check the resource type, Granite UI components foundation layout tabs, there is no Coral things exist here. Okay, and for every item we had to create this layout one. Okay, like if I go on the accessibility node, and parallel to the items I had to create one layout node as well. Okay, but here you can see that there is no concept of the layout. They have done, if I click on these tabs, then you will see Granite UI components Coral keyword between the components and foundation. So this is a Coral 3 API. Okay, so overall the objective is that these core components are using the latest technologies, okay, or the latest things of AEM. Okay, this is not like the out of box components which are using some old things. Okay, so let me go back here and open one URL. So this is an open source on GitHub. You can find the details of every core component. Okay, how to use those component, or how to, like if you want to contribute, you can also suggest something for core components. Okay, so this is the page GitHub Adobe Core WCM components. Okay, where you will see all the details. Okay, they are keep enhancing. Like for 6.3 version, which I remember, there were only 7 to 8 components was there. Okay, but now if I go down, okay, so this is the wiki kind of page. Now they have created 25 components. Okay, I have not gone through all, I have gone through only 2 3. Okay, so they have created 25 components so far. They are creating like very fast. So here you will see that what is the system requirement of using these core components. Okay, like they are creating the versions like 2.5.0. Okay, so how to check that which core component versions we are having in our AEM? Okay, so the best way is like you can go to the config manager or the bundle itself, and here you just search with the core. Okay, so here you will see one entry that says Adobe Experience Manager core WCM components core bundle. Okay, so this core component bundle by default will be appearing will be coming with your instance 6.4. It is appearing 2.2.0. If you are using 6.3, it will be 1.5 dot something or 1.2 dot something. or if you have installed some service pack, then it will be updating one. So this is the version which I am having on my machine 2.2.0. Now if I go here on this page, they are saying that now the current version is 2.5.0. Okay, and it is saying that for the list of requirements for previous versions, see historical system requirements. So you will be able to see that for which version which components are present. Okay, if I go down, like this is 2.4.0 I'm having here, sorry, 2.2.0, this version I'm having, and like 6.4 2.0 version is required, 6.3 or like Java 8 is required. For 6.5, if you want to make use of this 2.5 jar file, then you should be using either 6.4.2 version, like service pack 2 you should be installed in your AEM. Okay, so let's go down and let's see a few more things. So the thing comes like how to make use of these core components. Okay, so like AEM core components are introduced in 6.2, but okay, it was introduced in 6.2, but it is strongly recommended from 6.3 version. Okay, and the difference would be like between the library component and core component. These are the few differences. Like if I enlarge it, okay, WCM components, they have categorized in two parts. One is foundation and one is core components. Core components resides apps core, and foundation component resides on this path, two path. One is JSP based and one is STL based. Okay, and the difference would be like the core components are 100% written in STL. They have covered the unit testing, okay, inbuilt features. Okay, and the foundation components, like you know that like they are using the old one. Okay, so now I'll give you one example like how you can make use of these core components in your application. If I go down here, let's suppose I have given one example. Okay, so if you like worked on any previous version, or like I'll tell you that if we need to create any navigation, then definitely in previous version of AEM I was not having that out of box component where I can create the navigation. I had to write some Java code to fetch the child pages and then prepare a list of those child pages title and then present or create the navigation. Okay, but now like using core components, there is one component that is navigation, and you can make use of that navigation component. You don't need to write any Java or business logic for that one. You can make use of that uh, navigation component. Okay, so let's do one thing first. I'll go to one of my page. Okay, I'll open my editable template first. Let me open that page. Site admin, or let's suppose this personal one only. Okay, so let's try to drag that component here. Okay, what I'll do, I'll just go to the crxt lite. Okay, this is my core components folder, and I want to make use of this navigation component. Okay, this navigation component. So what I'll do, I'll create a component. I will inherit this component. Okay, so just copy the path of the navigation core component. Okay, go to your project. Mine is personal. Global. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just create one component here. Create component, and I'll type here like personal navigation component something. And in the super type, I'll just give the path of my core component. Okay, this is the path of my core component. Now in the group, let me just take the group from previous one. And then click OK and just save all. What I'll do, I'll just delete this file for the time being. Okay, and just save it. Okay, so this is the simple component which I have inherited from this navigation component. I'm not giving any HTML or any JSP file. If I want to override the behavior of HTML, then I will be doing that. Okay, right now I'm just extending the component in my component. Okay, just save it all and go back to your page, refresh it. Now let's drag that component, navigation component. Okay, so this is my navigation component. If I double click on it or try to configure, so this is the out of box, sorry, this is my core component, that is a navigation one. Okay, I have not created this dialog. This is the dialog of my core navigation component. Okay, I don't need to go inside this core component that how they have created. But if you are curious, then you can always go to this navigation component and can see that how they have created this component. It's a best practice. Sorry, it's a like good thing if you can go and can see that how they have created this dialog. Okay, and like how they have managed the thing. Then you can go. So now here what I will do, I'll just select any route. Suppose let's see vRetail. Where it is this one. Okay, I'll just select this route. Select. Now they are giving some feature like if you want to exclude the parent node, if you want to make the navigation only for the sub pages, then you can exclude this navigation route. If you want to collect all the child pages of certain levels like 2 levels, 3 levels or 4 levels, you can use this checkbox. If you uncheck it, then you have to just define that what would be the structured depth, like 1 level page or 2 level page. The level of page means this one. Let me quickly open site admin. Suppose if I go to the vDetail, so this is the first level. If I go inside the language master, this is second level and this is the third level. Okay, first, second, third. So you can define that for which level you want to collect the child pages. Okay, if you want to collect the child pages only for one level, then just define here one. Okay, and just click on done. So now you see English, Doce, France, Espanol, or Italiano. Okay, title is same for two United States and some, so that's why it is duplicating, but don't go with the titles. Okay, if I select the different one, let me select some different one because I seen that for Canada and for United States they are using the same title. Okay, let me select a different one. Suppose this Vodafone. Let me try. Okay, so you see here all the pages of my Vodafone is appearing here. Okay, and if I go and collect all the pages, click on done. Okay, those are not having the sub pages actually, and it is including the root as well, en page. Okay, so if I exclude, sorry, it is not including that Vodafone. If I exclude it, uncheck it, then you will see Vodafone here as well, first level and second level both, including the root. Now it's up to me, like this is giving me the functionality. Okay, this component. Now if I'm having a skinning, like I just need to skin this component. Correct. I'm having this skin. Suppose this is one level like navigation I have, and I just want to skin this functionality. This is exactly what I wanted. It is giving me the like all the child pages of certain levels. So I have that component ready with me. Now I have to do one thing. I have to just skin my component, this component, personal navigation component with this one. So that is very easy. So what you have to do is you have to just go to your CRXD Lite. Okay. So first I'll show you that how to skin that component which we created. The same way you try with these different components, carousel, breadcrumb, and for individual components there is a wiki page. Okay, you can take reference. You just go to that wiki. Okay, and here there should be some sample. Suppose this is my navigation. Okay, I'm taking an example. If you go to this title or text component, just click on it, and you will see that documentation or the component library. So here you will see the documentation of that component, that how to use that component. Okay, so everything they have mentioned here, that how to use these core components. Okay, and what will be the like authoring structure, and what is the design dialog. So you can just refer this core component, it's very handy. Okay, so now what I'll do, I'll just skin that component whatever we created. Okay, so let me do one thing. First we are having library, client library. Okay, I'll just make one CSS file, like create a file index or something, or I'll give here navigation.css. Okay, and just click OK and make entry here. Navigation.css, open it, go to the folder. I got this design from my team. Okay, that you have to create your navigation in this way. You can download from the internet any, like whatever you want. Just download. This is the like style which I received. I just put here Control V and just save it. Okay, and just close it. Now I have just put my library. If I open this page and go to the Notepad++ or the source of it, I'll see that this kind of structure I have got. So definitely I have to put this structure in my core component. Okay, so how I will do that? What I'll be doing, I'll just create a file, or I will overwrite the HTML of my core component. How I will do that? I'll just create one more file here, like the same name of my component, personal navigation component .html. Okay, let me just check the name, personal. Okay, and just put that HTML, whatever HTML you are having. I'm just Control A, Control C, or it is not required at all. Okay, HTML body. Just copy the body part. Okay, and just Control S. And let's just refresh it one. Definitely it will not be appearing now because we have overridden the HTML file. Okay, but my dialog will be there. Then we can, what we can do, we can make use of the Java classes. Okay, rather than skinning the existing one. Let's see first whether my menu is coming in proper way. Then we'll convert it. Okay, so there is some issue again here. So it means my CSS is not getting loaded properly. Okay, home presentation, whatever it is not appearing. Let me open it in duplicate. Okay, so let me see here. Navigation.css is there, and okay, so there is let's see that what could be the issue here, like my library is not getting loaded or what. Let me try one more time. There might be some caching or other issues as well. Okay, yeah, that was one caching issue. Okay, now it is coming, but not in the exact way we wanted. Okay, home, blog, shop, new. So let me open in new browser. Okay, so there is some CSS issue is here, but let's forget about that because I'm getting what I wanted. Like this home page is consisting two layer, presentation page, contact page, 1, 2, 3, then shop candy, and the news. The reason might be like my CSS, which I am applying here, can conflict with the existing CSS. Okay, either bootstrap or either styles.css. So in that case, if you feel if you see those kind of conflicts, then definitely we have to connect with the UI team that once I integrated their CSS, I'm getting conflict on my page. Okay, so that is not an issue. So if I open, let me close it. Yeah, this one, this is almost same. The only difference, like my CSS is getting distorted. Okay, so now what I'll be doing, I'll be just calling like if I double click here on my page, same thing is there. Okay, it is fine. So what I'll do, I'll just go to my core component. Okay, core, then the navigation and navigation.html. So if you see here that they are using one model class, that is this one, com.adobe core components models navigation. Okay, and they are using certain things here like the items. Okay, uh, for every navigation object they are having one items one. Okay, so definitely you would require this help again from here. Okay, for these core components. So let me go back here and try to find out the navigation one. Just click on this navigation and the usage you will see here, and also let me see. Click to- Okay, the technical documentation. You can go to this. Okay, so here you can see like the navigation route, which properties is it is having, or like how they have binded, or what you can do, you can go to the component code itself. Okay, so this is the component code like v1 navigation. If you want to check like what is the library or what is the Java file they have created, then you can always go to the source of it as well. Okay, so for the time being, what I'll do, I'll just copy this class. Okay, navigation, and just include it on the top. Okay, might be I have used body. I should not use this body, I guess. Let me get rid of this body. Control S, and let me now try. Okay, same. any object you can create. I'm creating navigation equals to control V. Okay, so I just instantiated, I'm just using their dialog and I'm just using their classes. Okay, so navigation is the class. I just created an object. So definitely here you will see one thing. Okay, like for every, there are one UL, that is fine. There are multiple LIs. Okay, uh, and for each LI, they are having one more UL for the second level. Okay, so what I'll do simply here, I'll just delete rest of the two LIs. Okay, the thing which we are doing from the initial, I'll just do the same thing. I'll delete all the rest of the LIs. Okay, so definitely I have to loop this LI. Okay, and I have to delete this LI as well, one LI, and then I have to put one condition or one data slide list here as well. Correct. So two list I have to provide here. So let me do one thing. If I have that example, let me quickly open that instead of. Okay, so the same thing I did, like the navigation one, I have created an object of that class. I'll do two things. One, items. Yeah, sure, sure, Kumar. You can drop it out.
Yeah, Kumar, thank you.
Okay.
So, Kumar, can we start tomorrow, listeners or event handlers? I mean,
I'll check here because I haven't gone through from long back. I'll see if I
okay,
can give some insight on those.
okay, no problem. I have lots of question. I'll ask you tomorrow.
Okay, okay, okay. Fine, fine,
Okay,
fine.
thank
I'll be
you.
wrapping in next 5 minutes. Okay. So this is
Okay,
the
I'll stay
class
in the
like,
call.
yeah, okay, okay, fine, fine.
Okay.
So we deleted the rest of the lies. What I'll do, I'll just go here and put one list object and then slide. Okay. And what is this items? As I mentioned that for every navigation, it will be containing a list of items. Okay. And then again, I have to put the child item. For every item, it will be containing the children. And from where you will get this information, you can go or you can navigate this navigation.html, that how they are creating or how they are like populating the children's. Okay, in this item.html or item content.html. So they have mentioned here, if I go to this item.html, then you will see somewhere that children, or in the documentation as well, you can find that what is the children. Okay, so this children is nothing but an individual menu item. Okay, for second level or first level. So I'm doing the same thing here. I'll just close it. So you have to just like go through these component documentation before I start. So I'll just copy this one. Okay, so instead of doing that, I'll just copy full file and paste it here. Okay, what I did here, just I put one condition or like one loop condition before li and one loop condition inside this ul. Okay, with the child and with the ul items. Now just save it, and if I go back and refresh this one. Okay, so this is my Vodafone and all the list is coming. Okay, now it is fine. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just refresh this page or open it and exclude the navigation route and click on done, and then refresh it once. Or here I can do that. So you see that your whatever menu we were having, we are getting the same item here. Let me select some different one. Suppose which is having two level. Okay, because in this HTML we are having two levels items. Okay, one is the first level, this UL, and second level is this UL. Okay, you can create the third level as well if you want, like the UL and all. That will entirely depend on the UI team, that how they have given. So if I try to give some different one, suppose Airtel master. Okay, let's take an example of this Airtel master. Select it, done, refresh it. Okay, so now you see that this is my second level, exact second level. I have not done any coding. I just make use of the existing navigation core component, its dialog and its Java class. So in that way, you can just go through all these core components. Okay, for every component, you will be having some some working copy or some documentation you can refer. Okay, so Sachin, then we'll wrap it up now and we'll connect then tomorrow.
Yeah, Kumar.
Okay.
Kumar, one question.
Mhm.
Not related with this, related with the workflows. So,
Yeah, tell me.
Kumar, what is payload? What is payload in workflow?
The payload is like from where you are starting your workflow. Like if you are starting your workflow on a specific page, then that page will be the payload.
Okay, got it.
Okay, like right click and then you start the workflow. That the page node will be the payload of that workflow.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. Mhm.
Okay, then I'll connect tomorrow then. Okay.
Yeah, sure, Kumar.
Bye.
Thank you.